world is looking at how best to streamline compliances, and most often big scandals and big things have come out for want of compliance, for want of matured compliance. And it is there that I think you have a very big role to play, more with ease of compliance being one of the norms. The greater simplicity that we can bring into a system is where things work finer. So when norms and regulations are placed before for companies to operate within a certain framework, the simpler it is, the better it is. The simpler it is, the easier and tempting it can be for compliance itself. So there's always been this accent for companies to function and function without the burden of compliance being on their shoulders. So in that respect, I think the company secretaries have a very important role to play, more with, on the one hand, where the government says, I want to ease compliances, and on the other hand, where opportunities are ever growing because of introduction of technology. Greater, well-managed companies, companies which are more transparent in their functioning, companies which have good governance principles, board-driven principles, are attracting a lot of investors, not just big-ticket investors, but also small retail investors. And therefore, for a company to flourish, to grow, and also to expand in its area of operation, the role of a company secretary to make it easy, to make it ready for a company to follow the guiding principles that you might advise them with, is going to make a lot of difference. That the money is flowing from retail investors and big-ticket investors all towards well-managed companies. How can a company be well-managed? Purely by the role of the company secretary. And I think the outcome, which is a lot of investors going into the market, a lot of retail investors going into the market, companies drawing a lot of funds from abroad, are all possible only because you are at it and doing a good job of advising companies to follow greater compliances and making it simple for them. I duly and I full-heartedly appreciate the role that the company secretaries have played, even during the pandemic, in keeping the corporate governance principles, in following the compliance norms, so that Indian companies, I think, have done extraordinarily well